What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing great today. We are now in the month of November and we are getting closer and closer to the launch date of Battlefield 5. And if you are like me, you can't wait to get your hands on it. Now, the first time I played Battlefield 5 was at EA Play, and although I only got to play the game for about 30 minutes, I really enjoyed it at the time and was extremely hyped for the beta. Now, as we all know nowadays, betas are considered more of a demo and a marketing tool rather than an actual beta test of the game. So to my surprise, when the beta was released with a bountiful of bugs and glitches, I was a bit disappointed, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed certain parts of the game. So in this video, I'll be focusing on my thoughts about certain aspects of the core gameplay. Those are gunplay, specifically spread and suppression, and 2, attrition. First, gunplay. DICE has said that it is moving away from the randomness system in Battlefield 1 and is now adding a predictable system to the weapons in Battlefield 5. That is to say that they are going to get rid of random bullet deviation. Well, what is random bullet deviation? Random bullet deviation is the spread that noticeably affects how your weapons perform against an enemy. This system is not entirely gone in Battlefield 5, but it appears to have been dramatically decreased from what I could tell from playing the beta, which does give players more control over their weapons. Now, I could be wrong since both spread and recoil are used to limit weapons to a specific intended range. I do not know if the weapons feel more controllable due to the recoil showing up before spread, simply giving an impression that the gun is more controllable. But I know that the combination of these two mechanics and their corresponding values will vary from weapon to weapon, giving the weapons a unique feel and different ranges of effectiveness. Also, different levels of recoil patterns will allow certain weapons to extend their effective ranges of engagement by making some weapons better for tap firing. Because of the fact that recoil increases dramatically after the first 5 or so initial shots, making those first shots more accurate than the rest, but also decreasing their damage per minute due to the slower firing of the gun. Decreasing the random bullet deviation does not immediately increase the skill gap due to the fact that a skilled player can abuse microbursting due to the recoil, but removing it from certain situations such as when suppression kicks in is definitely needed. We've all been there when an enemy is shooting at you but can't hit you and you are unable to punish him because your weapon has lost accuracy due to the increase of spread when suppressed. This is a horrible system. If you are spraying him with bullets but can't hit him, yet he manages to hit you, maybe he deserves that kill. Why should a player's inaccuracy be rewarded? It just doesn't make sense. In the case of recoil in general, a gun can be controlled by investing time to learn the recoil pattern and eventually get really good with it. Like I mentioned before, extending the intended range of engagement is quite possible in Battlefield 5, especially against an inferior player if you invest the time to learn how to use a weapon effectively. All in all, the gunplay in Battlefield 5 will feel more similar to that of Battlefield 3 due to the decreased spread and visual recoil of the weapons. If you are a fan of those games, you will love the gunplay in Battlefield 5. Moving on to the next point, attrition. It's simply put, bad. It limits the ability for a player in a shooter game to simply shoot other players. Its intended purpose is to enforce team play, but forcing you to rely on teammates that ultimately are not always going to be supporting you is a flawed system that shouldn't be in the game. Team play has always been a core aspect of Battlefield games, and it can be seen in all previous titles that a squad coordinating and working together will always be more effective than those who are not. The attrition system punishes players who like to play solo and players who manage to stay alive longer by limiting their use of effectiveness to the team due to the lack of ammo and health available to them. Yes, I know that there are health and ammo stations that players can use, but all that does is slow down the gameplay by requiring the player to constantly look for the supply stations when their teammates are not being cooperative in order for them to continue to be effective. A system like the resupply stations can be beneficial to combat the fact that not all players are cooperative, but in combination with attrition, it kind of makes attrition seem counterintuitive since the whole purpose of attrition is to force people to be cooperative and help their teammates. Overall, I think attrition limits team play instead of encouraging it and should be unimplemented from the game. With that being said, DICE has announced that they will be looking into the time to kill, time to death, the amount of ammo you spawn in, the amount of ammo you can pick up, as well as many other features. Although there are features in the game that are bad, there are some that are great for the game. I'm only going to point one out that I absolutely love the most and doesn't get talked about it much by other YouTubers, which is the fact that grenade spam and mortar spam are almost being completely removed in this game. Whether or not that will continue as the life of the game progresses, we have yet to see, but for the initial release of the game, it appears that way. Anyway, thank you for listening to me rant about Battlefield 5, and I'll see you on the battlefield.
Oh my god, these dudes are garbage. Hold on, Remy. Oh shit, you died. time.